Hi, welcome back to another tutorial. In this very tutorial, I'm going to be showcasing to us the expense module, which I call my expenses. Right now, I'm using the mobile simulator to show this because I believe many of us will be using the our mobile phones to do this work, right? But just so as a word of clarity, let me show us how it looks like on the desktop, as in the desktop version. So this is how it looks on the desktop. Okay, this is how it looks on the desktop. Now I'm going back to the mobile simulator. So with this way, we're able to view it on the mobile. Now the expense module currently has the expense page, my expense page, add expense, monthly expense report, expense subchannel, expense channel, and expense type. So let's begin from the expense types, right? Let's begin from the expense types. Now basically this page is for running your daily operations, right? This is where you add classification or types of core expenses that is used to run your daily expenses, and also for startups. For business startup, as in when you are starting your business from the beginning, right? For example, if you want to capture your capital expenditures before even the operations, you are building, you are buying equipment and the rest of them, you're listing all the equipment you need for your business. Maybe you're into sales or services and you want to rent a shop, buy furniture, buy this, buy all of that comes under the capital expenditure. Then fixed expenses, maybe your rent, monthly rent, or operational, non-operational, all of that. So you find them here. You can also add yours. Maybe whatever is not included here, you can add yours. Okay. Now, above that, we have what we call the expense channel. Expense channel here is basically channels from where our money will be leaving our pockets, right? For example, we have internet bills, we have shop, house, maybe you are paying for maybe the business is paying the rent of the boss or staff, you have food, you have whatever it is. All of this, we use all of this right here as for demonstration, right? Yours will certainly be completely different from this. Now, monthly fare for yourself, for your transport, or for marketing, all of that. So all comes under this, right? Maybe you also want to budget what is the cost for marketing per month or per year or per week, the logistics involved, all of that, you put them under your expenses, right? And then now to enter your expense, your expense channel, first you select the type, right, depending on what you want, and then what I also call expense category, right? And then you enter the expense channel, right? This is seen here, you enter it here, and then all of that comes in. Then you want to maybe make any modification, you can always do using this button here to make your modification, okay? And when you click, it will open it up for you. You can make your modifications here, right? Now, having entered your expense channel, you can also have what we call sub channels, expense sub channels. For example, you talk about feeding or rent, whatever. You can say, okay, transportation is transportation. That is a core channel of its own. Now, when you get into the month of January, you can classify it as January transport expenses, or January full month expenses, or January half month, or January internet bill. Now that is where the sub comes in, or transportation for marketing, transportation for this, that is for the month, right? For that period. So when you enter that, you use this button to enter that. You use this button here to add sub expense channel, right? Use this button to do that. Now, when the sub expense channel name comes here, and then you select the parent channel, okay, and then you click on the blue button to add, and all of that will be listed here, right? Then when you are done with that, you can now add expenses, right? When you are done with categorizing or creating your channels, your expense channels, you can now add the actual expense. For example, in the month of January, you didn't spend as much as you wanted, so you can just maybe give a description of the expense that was spent in January. Peradventure, the expense happened twice. All of that, you enter them. The first one here, second one here, and all of that has to do with a particular expense channel. And you don't forget, as you do that, you select if it is for sales or for services, right? The business type here, then how much it costs, and then the sub channel itself, right? Is it for clothing? Is it for feeding? Friday feeding costs, all of that, right? Then the dates, and then you add, right? Now we added this business type expense to separate expenses that are incurred by the sales department and expenses that are incurred by the service department, because if not, if maybe you are running your business involves sales and services, if this is not classified, if these two types are not classified, you will see that you are running expense, but each of your business type need to be able to pay back or take care of this cost, right? So you know which of your business type is taking more money from you. If it says it's taking more, you find out why it's taking more. If the service is taking more, you find out why it's taking more. But if we didn't add this, you'll be wondering how the money was spent. You might not be able to remember. So this is why this is very key. Now, having done that, if you now look at the my expense page, you see why that is important. You see that here we have sales, and here we have services, right? So with this, you now know that you spend this amount in January for sales, this amount in January for expenses. Now, as you can see here, before we added the sales and expense types, we had already entered these expenses. Now, but as you can see, there's no way to categorize, to say where these expenses went to. You have, this is clothing, fruit, internet. So we can't tell exactly which business type incurred all of this. So this is why it's important we added the sales